Hey guys, it's Vicky, and today I'm here to share with you my Spookathon wrap-up. And I have to say, I'm pretty proud of myself. I had planned to read 3 books during the Spookathon, and I completed all 3 of them. So I did all of the 5 challenges within those 3 books, so I'm super proud of myself. Yay me! And so now I'm going to go over the books that I read. So the first one that I finished during Spookathon was The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. And I consider this to be my thriller, though I'm not sure if it's really a thriller, but this book is actually kind of hard to classify because it's not really a horror novel. It's dystopian, but it's like a bunch of things. So I'm like, it kind of counts as a thriller, right? So that's what I counted it as anyway. So this book, I don't think I'm giving anything away because I feel like I knew this going into it, but a lot of people were surprised to find that it was like a zombie story, but I kind of knew that going into it, so sorry if that spoils it for anybody, but yes, this is a book about zombies, and it's a dystopia kind of story, and I won't say anything more about it though because I don't want to spoil anything else, but basically I really enjoyed this book. I thought that the zombie story that the author took with this one, it was unique to me. Not only like the way that it affected people, the actual zombies, the way they behaved and stuff was different, I thought, but also just the way that the disease or the infection itself kind of spreads and stuff was, I thought, interesting. So overall, yeah, I really liked this one. It had a lot of things going on in it, despite it being about zombies. It has a lot to say about humanity and how we treat each other, especially when you're kind of grouped with maybe people that you wouldn't otherwise understand or like, how you kind of come to understand each other through certain circumstances, and how we treat each other despite differences we may have and things like that. So it had a lot to say about that. It had a lot to say, I think, about nature versus nurture even. How, even if you're predisposed to be a certain way, can you fight that? Can you change that? So I liked those kinds of themes that were going on in this book. It also doesn't surprise me that this book became a movie, which I'm really excited to watch eventually, but it doesn't surprise me at all because it reads like a movie. It's very cinematic, and just the way that the plot progresses and everything, could totally see it being a movie, and then yeah, it's no surprise that it is a movie because it would make a really good movie. So if any of you guys out there have seen the film adaptation of this, let me know what you thought of it because I'm really interested in watching it. I watched the trailer and it seemed like it's pretty good, so yeah, let me know down below what you thought of this. But overall, I enjoyed this book a lot. I would recommend it to people, and I guess there's a prequel out now too that I'm not sure. I might read it, I might not. I'm not really sure. But overall, yeah, liked this one, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. My next Spookathon read fulfilled the challenge of reading a book with a spooky word in the title. For that, I did Ghost Beach by R.L. Stine. Obviously, ghost is a spooky word. So I read this one, and I'm pretty sure I owned it when I was younger, but I didn't remember anything about it going into it. So, but despite that, I thought that the story was a little bit cliched. It's about a ghost that haunts this cave by a beach, and these 2 kids, this brother and sister, are basically trying to solve the mystery of this ghost and all that. And I thought that it was entertaining, it was kind of fun, but it was also, like I said, a little cliched. I guessed the twist pretty much right away, which doesn't always happen in Goosebumps books for me, believe it or not. And just, it was an okay ghost story. Nothing that really wowed me, but it was fun to read, and I'm glad that I got to revisit this. So yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. My last Spookathon read was The Wicked by James Newman, and this fulfilled, read a book with orange on the cover, obviously, read a book with a spooky setting, because this is about a town that is basically being terrorized by a demon. And the third one, what was the third one? Hold on, I'm blinking. Something that creeped you out as a child or childhood fear, which is, to me, demons and demonic possession creep me out to this day. So this one was a lot of fun. perfect book to read around Halloween. It deals with, like I said, a town that is being terrorized, taken over, if you will, by this demon called Moloch, I believe is how you pronounce it. And you have this husband and wife who are new to the town. They just moved from New York City, and they moved to this town, and then all this wacky stuff starts happening. And I have to say that I thought that this was a good book. It had a great kind of, it gave a great kind of nod to 80s horror fiction. And you can kind of tell even by the cover that it looks kind of 80s like. And so the story was good. It was entertaining. I think that, however, I had a couple of problems with it. Mostly that I felt like the ending was a little bit abrupt. It happened really quickly and almost too easily, is all I will say, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But, so there was that, and then there were things throughout the story that were kind of brought up, that didn't seem to, that the author kind of introduced but never explained or went back to, so it was like, why was that in the story, or why was that relevant? I also wish that we had gotten to know the town a little better, like the other people that live in this little town, because as the town starts to get overrun by this demon and his mischief, if you will, it's hard for you to really feel for the people because you don't really know them. The story kind of like just revolves around this like tighter knit group of people. But then later on, these other people are kind of brought in, and you're like, I think you're supposed to feel for them and think, wow, this is horrible, but you kind of don't, because you're like, I don't know who these people are, you know what I mean? So I wish that he would have spent a little more time developing the other people of the town and just the town itself, so that as things started to go south, you felt a little bit more for them. Another issue that I had in this book was the author's treatment of homosexuality. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something about it bothered me. There was a character in here, well, two characters that were gay, and I don't know if it was his way of kind of commenting on how some small town folk still tend to be homophobic or have issues with homosexuality. I'm not sure, but just the way that they were treated in the novel, it just didn't sit right with me. And I can't really explain it, but it just felt wrong to me. I will say that the writing in this was actually pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised, because I mean, you look at this and you think it's just going to be kind of lackluster writing, but like a really like good page turner maybe, but I thought the writing was actually pretty good too. I would actually probably check out more of James Newman's books. Overall, I think it was a pretty creepy read. There were definitely some scenes in this book, and I don't know if it's because I'm sensitive to possession and demons and stuff, but there were definitely some scenes in this book that gave me the willies. I was like, ugh, you know, I got kind of creeped out, so I liked that, obviously, because why else would you read a book like this if you want to get scared? So there were parts that I was like, wow, that was freaky, you know, so I enjoyed that. So overall, I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. I would recommend it to people that like horror books, because there is a lot of, you know, those kinds of elements in this. There's a lot of profanity, there's a lot of sex, there's a lot of violence, and whatnot. So if that's something you wouldn't like, then you wouldn't like this book. But yeah, overall, a good horror novel, pretty solid, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. So overall, guys, I'm really excited that I completed all 5 challenges. I really wasn't expecting to. I was hoping to at least finish 2 out of the 3 books. So the fact that I finished all 3 was really exciting for me. Yay! So yeah, please let me know down below how you guys did, if you took part in the Spookathon. What books did you complete? What challenges did you complete? You know, what did you think of it overall? Because I would love to have a chit chat about it. And I definitely will take part in Spookathon next year, if it goes on next year, because it was a lot of fun. I thought the challenges were fun, very obviously seasonally appropriate with Halloween and everything coming up. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I did it. So other than that, though, guys, that is all I have for today. So I hope that you are having a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!